So, according to Socrates, the unexamined life is not worth living. And so today what I want to do in this 11-minute video is kind of make an announcement how I'm going to call this series the Examen Life, my 11-minute videos in the morning where I kind of share with you what I'm learning, what I'm reading, and bring you into the real life kind of processing and the flow. And so this is coming from The Meaning of Your Life from Arthur Brooks. And so it's been a few days, almost a week now, of me processing through kind of the ideas of this book and sharing with you a little bit of what is sparking. And so this quote, "The unexamined life is worth living," from Socrates, is something that I've written in my journal and I actually carry with me. I have a practice called the Examen from the Jesuits that I use in my day-to-day life. And so the reason why I'm sharing this is because, one, I found clarity on what these 11-minute videos are, is really bring you into my examined life as I think through kind of all the important questions, but also how I'm going to work through some of the ideas and apply it into my life and see hopefully fruitfulness from it. And so, yeah, so the examine life, I think is really important. I think self-awareness is an area that I have grown in thanks to my coach, where really the self-awareness comes from receiving feedback from the world, from YouTube, from the marketplace, from my peers, and really processing through whether their feedback is something that is true, first of all, right? And secondly, is it somewhere I need to improve on? And so really it's been fun because I've been enjoying kind of the negative feedbacks that I've been getting. And at first, it was hard and it was uncomfortable, but I'm learning to really enjoy it because it's actually unlocking some of those assumptions and the avoidance and the fear that has created this illusion that like I was very self-aware. But there's another quote in here that I thought was really interesting is this idea of, it's from Seneca, so another Stoic philosopher, who says, "Death lies heavily on him who, due to all the world well known, is a stranger to himself alone." Meaning the world may know you, but you are a stranger to yourself. And this is this kind of idea of putting on a facade, being performative, showing up in the world with a different version of yourself, a version that you think that the world will love and accept and not reject. But what ends up happening is later in life, and as I'm approaching my 50s, I'm starting to care very little about what other people think of me, even though I take their input and value their input, but really trying to focus on understanding who I am and build that greater self-awareness. And from that point, figure out who I want to become. And so it's been really, really interesting season for me. And so, so yeah, I think that's kind of what I wanted to share today. Didn't need to extend this video to be super long, but it's really a insightful book, The Meaning of Your Life. And there's actually a lot of books coming out. It seems like from like one from Cal Newport talking about the deep life, and then also another one from Jim Collins. And my friend wrote a book about how to design the good life or your good life that's coming out in May. And so there seems to be this kind of this trend or just kind of like a leaning towards meaning and significance and purpose once again in the world. Maybe it's because the world is feeling a little crazy right now with all the wars and political things and insecurity and AI and all the disruptions that are happening. So I think people are starting to search for like something a little bit deeper, right? What does it mean to be human? I think is really the question that people are facing in the midst of all this disruption and this innovation and this change that artificial intelligence is bringing. I use AI every single day. And so for me, I'm grateful for the technology, but I'm also a little bit scared because of what I see it doing for me and the capabilities that it has. But I think like there is a kind of a theme that's going on around meaning, significance, and purpose. And also, I think another thing I'll add is belonging, because we've been going through what they call an epidemic of loneliness. And I feel like another section of this book talks about the types of friendships, and maybe I'll just end with that. In your circle, right, of some, in the Christian context, they call it the oikos, the sphere of influence, or the people that you're relating to day to day. out of the 10 people, how many people fit in these categories, right? So one category is what they call utility friendships, right? Like they're your coworkers, and and they're people that actually do things for you or you do things for them. And so there's really a transactional relationship there. Even though at work you guys act like friends, but as soon as you leave the work or leave the job, the friendship goes away, right? So those are what they call utility friendships. And one of the tests that he says is, do you know the names of their kids, and would you call them on a weekend to just catch up? Right? The second one is what they call pleasure friendships, right? So friendships where, again, you're having fun with, and it's um, just a friendship that's not deep, but just really a friendship where you go do things together and enjoy one another. And he would also say like it's dating as well, in terms of like, wow, like if you're attracted to someone because of the physical, rather than kind of deeper than that, then that's what they call pleasure friendships or pleasure relationships. And the third one he talks about is this what they call virtuous relationships or virtual friendships, which he says is where you find your significance in, right? So out of the top 10 people that you spend most time with, how many of those actually fit under this virtual friendship? And the way that he defines it is there's a mutuality to it of respect and of admiration and of love. And so I think that's something that also, I mean, I went on a tangent there, but another thing that this chapter talks about. So yeah. So moving forward, we're gonna call these series of videos that I make at my desk in the morning. That's gonna be under 11 minutes. The Examen Life playlist. And so if you want to look at some of the other videos that I made this year, you could just check out the playlist and follow me along. But again, I'm grateful for those who say yes to invest time. I've been trying to be as consistent as I can and making these videos. And so far, I think I've been pretty consistent. I haven't missed a day. But really, if it's of value to you and has bring you some insights or help bring you some clarity, I hope that's the case. As an exchange for the investment of your time, attention, and your focus on watching content like this. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.